Facebook. Hello, everybody. Andrea, Kay, coming live here. Hello, world, outside of my office. I wanted to jump on live and talk about a few things. I felt called. I wanted to talk about my book. And kind of just what's going on in the world overall. What inspired me actually to jump on is there was a post earlier that I posted about, if you saw that post, you know what I'm talking about. And I titled this In This World But Not Of It. A lot of people don't understand that there are technically kind of two worlds, earths, different dimensions or levels of consciousness. There's multiple levels of consciousness, but particularly I'm going to talk about 3D versus 5D. And we're spirits, spiritual beings having a human experience. And we come here, Earth is the ground for spiritual growth and soul evolution. And we come here to experience life, learn, grow, expand, and evolve. But I put up this post, and so most people don't understand how by shifting our attention and focus, we can actually create something new. And I believe the best thing we can do for the world right now is create that vision and focus on it. And that is what I've been doing for the past several years during my spiritual awakening and self-discovery, personal development journey. And I've come to know these different levels of consciousness. 3D is very fear-based. This is lack and scarcity, fear, separation, worry, doubt, victim consciousness. 5D is higher frequencies, higher vibrations, because everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So 5D is more about joy, peace, from fear to love, from ego to soul, material to spirit. And we're seeing this awakening taking place. And yes, there is a process to that, and I call it the demolition process. We must tear down the old before we can create the new. What happens when you tear down an old building? It can get pretty messy, right? That's what we're seeing in the world. A lot of chaos, a lot of discord, a lot of disharmony, disease, illness, because that's the state of the world right now. There's a lot of sick, evil things. And I actually, my post earlier was because I saw somebody posting about the files, okay, but just details. And yes, I should have not read it. I wish I could unread it. I have to now cleanse it from my consciousness, because there are things happening in the world. There's always been bad and evil in the world, except for, maybe before the fall, right? Whatever the fall is to you. But that being said, we're in the demolition process of tearing down of the old. And Socrates said the secret to change isn't to focus our energy on fighting the old, but on creating the new, because we're creators, right? So what we focus on, my hair is all wet, guys. I literally just wanted to get on here, jumped right out of the shower, got dressed quick, and came on here. But the secret to change isn't to focus our energy on fighting the old, but on creating the new, because what we focus on expands. We're energy. So where focus goes, energy flows. That's why I said the best thing that we can do is create a vision, a massive vision. And I have this huge, huge, huge vision. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And I don't know if I can't see comments or anything like that. So I apologize if anyone is commenting. I can't see them as far as I know right now. But if I do see them after I jump on here or off of here, I will respond later. So, my disclaimer. I always encourage everyone to do their own research and form their own beliefs. Our beliefs are powerful. They're literally creating our reality. The way we believe, think, and feel every single day, our personality is creating our personal reality. What we focus on, we are creating. And our emotions are so powerful. They're energy and motion. And so if we're in these lower frequencies of fear and anger and guilt and shame and bitterness, resentment and unforgiveness, then that's why we see hell on earth. It's a level of consciousness. It's a level of mind. 5D, again, is these higher frequencies, right? Now I'm getting a little off track. So rewind. Talking about the book and everything going on in the world. What we focus on, we are creating. Hello, Marcus. Happy Thursday to you as well. So I can see the comments. Thank you for jumping on. So my disclaimer is what I was going to say. What I was saying. Our beliefs are powerful. They create a reality. So take what resonates and leave the rest, right? Maybe everything I say is not going to resonate, and that's totally fine. Take what resonates and leave the rest. That's the thing with information. You can choose to come into agreement with it and take it into our consciousness or not. When we come into agreement with these things, they become part of who we are, part of our personality, and it's reflected in our outer world. Our inner world's creating our outer world. And so inner turmoil, you know, majority of people stressed out, overworked, overwhelmed, automatic or autonomic nervous systems kicked on 24/7, in fight or flight, stress. This is why we see, again, the world the way that it is. Because we see the world not as it is, but as we are. And we see it as we are. And so it's a reflection of your inner world. And the collective inner world, it's not so pretty right now. And that's okay. That's okay, because it's the demolition process. And we know it's part of the process. And we must tear down the old to create the new. And so, dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. This is everything I've learned and studied about spirituality and mindset and conspiracy theories and all the things over the last decade plus. Probably 16 going on 20 or 2 decades probably. So, dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. Awakening and making the shift into the quantum new 5D Earth paradigm. It's a transformational guide to liberate humanity. And we are seeing this shift in consciousness. People are starting to wake up. The old systems are crumbling as we speak. Again, that demolition process. And it's messy, and it's ugly, and it's kind of scary. And there's going to be things that are shocking, right? That are going to be coming out. And there's going to be things are going to shift really fast. In the book, I talk about my motherhood journey and how it triggered my own awakening, because the powers that be that are manipulating consciousness and controlling humanity, siphoning our energy and our power by distracting us with all the material things and the BS and the drama and everything outside of us. You know, work, gotta go to work, gotta make money, gotta do this, you know, you don't have time to sit down and woosah and relax and like reflect and tend to your inner world, your own divine spiritual nature, and get out into nature and get sunshine, you know, on all these different things. We've been dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered. So the home births are part of that, right? That's just one of the rabbit holes, so to speak, right? Having babies and having them in hospitals, not having them. I had 2 unassisted home births, and I have two sovereign babies. Like, things are shifting. I have so much faith in this vision, in this new earth, that I chose to keep my 2 home birth babies sovereign. And so, chapter 2, I go into the untold truth, my story a little bit. Chapter 3 is about everything's energy and how it's the basics. This camera is backwards, so I was like trying to get to my hair and I'm going the wrong way. Anywho, the basics of quantum physics. I go into how everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Our thoughts are electrical signals, our emotions are magnetic signals. Together, they're creating an electromagnetic field around us, an energy field, aka our aura, that is either attracting or reflecting or deflecting certain things to us, people, situations, and this is created according to majority of it is our unconscious, our subconscious beliefs that are programs from early in childhood, passed down generation to generation, acquired from, it's our paradigm, our set of beliefs that we created from childhood and past lifetimes, from societal beliefs, cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, family beliefs, and all the things, right? And so it goes into that. Chapter 4, I talk about universal law. There are unseen spiritual laws to creation, and we're not taught about them. I go into talking about the chakras. The 7 chakras are the energy centers of the body, and consciousness. Consciousness is all that is. Consciousness is basically, it's an ocean of energy. It's a one infinite, eternal quantum field of pure, creative, conscious energy and divine intelligence. And it creates all things. And it's creating, we are vessels for it. And we are creating. We are creators, made in the image, right? I quote scripture a lot. I was raised as a Christian. You'll see that I am now coming into an understanding of Christ as Christ consciousness. It's a level of mind. It's something within us. It's a level of mind that we must embody. And I believe this is the second coming and the rapture. This is the rapture. We are not leaving Earth. We're moving to a higher level of consciousness. So we are essentially going to be protected from the things that are occurring or will occur or are occurring right now. And how you do that is simply by raising your frequency, raising your vibration, right? Not to say that we're not going to still be subject to some things of the world. We're in this world, but not of it, right? But the more that we wake up, the more powerful we become. We're becoming more conscious, more intentional, more purposeful, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Love what you do. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Chapter 5 is about mindset and how it creates reality. Your mindset is how you believe, what you believe, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your programs. Like I said, 90% of what you do by the time you're 35 years old is based on your unconscious programming. It's just learned patterns and programs and habits of thinking, being, doing that you play on autopilot, on repeat, on default. And that creates your reality. So sometimes you're like, okay, I want this, but why can't I get it? Why is it not working for me? Well, it's because you have some sort of an unconscious belief, like I'm not enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not capable, I'm insignificant, I don't belong, I'm not perfect, I can't do it because X, Y, Z. You don't know what I've been through. And we get into this storytelling. We're all just telling stories, right? Someone commented on my post earlier, and she's like, I know I could say this here, you'll understand. It's all an illusion anyway. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like a dream. It's a dream state, sort of, right? So quantum physics says that everything's energy, and matter doesn't essentially really exist. It's like a holographic image, a dream state, because matter is 99.999% empty space. It's just particles vibrating super fast, creating the illusion of matter. Trillions and trillions and trillions of particles carrying light and information, and it's all playing out right here in real time, because again, we're spirits, we're energy. We come here so that we can embody a physical body and experience through our 5 senses and learn and grow and expand and evolve, and that's the whole point. So I get into mindset, I get into the 5 steps to conscious creation. There's 5 steps you can follow, simple steps to create anything you desire. Anything. So it's all just, what do you want to create? What do you want to create? That's it. Chapter 7 is your truth, your story, and your message matter. And I get into, why being your true authentic self and sharing your gifts and your power, your wisdom, your knowledge, and your things with the world. That's where your power is. You have gifts, a message, like I just said, experience, something You're meant to share in such a way to be of service and help other people, and it will come naturally to you. And in your purpose, well, it's going to be a passion. You're going to be passionate about it. Follow your passion to find your purpose, and your purpose will provide you provision as well. So you'll know those things. Those things will all connect. You know you've found your purpose. So it's all about that. And chapter 8 is I Am Soul Evolution. Awaken the Creator within. How to use all this to create transformation in ourselves and the world. And I call it the evolution revolution because evolution and revolution both have the word love in them in the beginning, or in the word backwards, L-O-V-E. And so evolution, revolution, again, I'm backwards, so it's kind of awkward. Choose love. Love is our true divine spiritual nature. It's who we truly actually are. We come into this world, it's very fear-based, a fear-based narrative, and fear is used to control, right? And so I get into all of that in the book about the systems of control, how they've been manipulating consciousness, and what we have to do to wake up and take our power back and actually create real change. The greatest gift that we can give the world is that of our own transformation. When we begin to understand these concepts and principles and how everything actually works and how to regulate our own nervous systems, I will have a post I want to do about that, because like, how many of you grew up with like a parent saying, you get on my nerves, I got one nerve left and you're on it, my nerves are shot, my nerves are fried. Like, we hear these things. Yeah, our nervous systems, like I said, we've been programmed in patterns even in our nervous system and in our biology, in our chemistry, in our body, in our physiology. It's in our DNA, in our mind, programs and patterns that are hardwired into us from things that we heard as a child and things that we went through. And so I get into that as well in the book. In chapter 6, I believe, the 5 steps of conscious creation, where I talk about the science of neuroplasticity and epigenetics and how we can rewire the mind and recode DNA to reach higher levels of potential. Your mind is not set in stone. Your mind is tangible, right? If you hear the dog like snoring, making noise in the microphone, it's just the dog. But we can unwire and rewire. We're constantly making new connections when we learn, and the brain can change. So we can intentionally rewire it. And so I get into that all in the book. So if you're interested in checking it out, I do offer a free PDF copy. You'll see the link in the description. Besides that, that's all I really wanted to say, because there is a lot going on in the world. And so if you're on here listening to this and you made it this far, I want to invite you to, wherever you are, just take a deep, intentional breath and release, relax, like, let it all go, right? There's so much. The dog is in the world right now that is wanting to be transmuted, released, cleansed. And alchemy is using the power of love to transmute a negative to a positive, to take your pain and turn it into power and purpose so that you can move forward and create miracles in your life, because we're called to create miracles. I get into that in Mommy Magic. Again, backwards, awkward. Mommy Magic is a transformational guide for spiritual mompreneurs. It's how to master mindset and manifestation to increase income and impact. I offer a free PDF copy of that as well. Link is in my pin post on my profile if you want to check that out. I get into more about manifestation and magic and monetization and creating an online business. And the dog wants to go out, and so I have to open the door. That's it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and let's chat about it, because most people think this is so unrealistic. Like, what world do you live in? I'm creating a new world. Who's with me? Make shift happen. Let's grow. Bye.